In today's video, I want to talk about how you can answer the interview question, tell me about a time you had to manage conflicting priorities. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first thing you need to do is to understand why this question is being asked, and that's the way you reverse engineer it so that you can give them a satisfactory answer. And the reason why they're asking this is because they want to know, number one, how do you prioritize? Number two, what's your decision-making skills? Three, what's your communication skills? Four, how do you deal with stress when you need to have a calm mind to prioritize different things that's happening? And therefore, it's very important for them to get a sense of how you're able to handle these things. And so this is why you really need to highlight these skills while you're given this answer. The second thing you need to do is to prepare a story for this. And this is typically done in a STAR format. I've talked about it in a previous video, so check it out in the cards above. But essentially, it's a situation, task, action, and result. And by preparing early for this, you're able to prepare a story that is satisfactory. Now, the third thing you need to do is to craft an answer for this, right? What are the ingredients for a successful answer? And there are several. Now, the first thing is you need to choose a relevant example. So you're actually talking about you prioritizing something rather than just saying, oh, I prioritize this. You'll need to be able to dig into the specifics. The second thing you need to understand about this is to give insights in terms of how you did it. So by talking about your process, you need to dig a little deeper in terms of what made you make a decision on what's the priority. And typically this would involve things such as whatever stakeholder needs, what's the impact of what you're doing, and whatever deadlines that are taking place, and what are the conflicting priorities, and just how you weigh it all. So you'll need to outline your process in terms of how you did it. The second thing you need to do is to highlight your communication skills, and that means how did you keep your superiors involved, and how did you involve your teammates or other stakeholders that may be impacted by this prioritization process. So communication is key whenever things need to be realigned and expectations need to be reset. The third thing you need to talk about is how you delegated and how you got help. Because at the end of the day, whenever there's a prioritization situation, it usually means you need to prioritize something and then someone may need to jump in to give you a hand or assist. And therefore, it's important to talk about the delegation process or the teamwork that was involved in making it happen. The third critical ingredient of a successful answer is to really highlight your skills, and there are several that you really want to point out. The first one is really talking about time management. How did you manage your time? How did you make it happen? Another piece that you really want to show is your adaptability, how you were able to roll the punches, be flexible, and work with everyone to ensure a smooth process took place. And the third thing that you really want to emphasize is that it is outcome-based. You want to focus on the final result and the positives that it brought to the project. Now, that being said, what are the things that you should avoid while you're answering this question? The first thing you should avoid is overgeneralization. You need to be able to dive into the details, and if you're dealing with an experienced interviewer, they might dig a little deeper to get an understanding of how you actually did it. And if you stay at a very high level and you're not able to dig a little deeper, and that throws questions into the veracity of your answer. Another mistake that people tend to make is perhaps giving an example where there are negative outcomes, right? Like the project was botched and both things were messed up. Well, you want to avoid that because it's not a good thing to talk about how you messed up the prioritization process. However, if you don't have an actual example and that's the best that you can come up with, focus on the positives, but also talk about the opportunities for growth and how you've already learned these lessons so that it's prepared you for this new role that you are interviewing for. And the fifth and final thing, of course, is practice, practice, practice. If you have a story ready that has all of these ingredients that I gave in point number 3, then you should be in a pretty good place because that will set you up for success. Of course, answers are always better if they're rehearsed rather than riffing on the spot. So you definitely want to, at the very least, record yourself so that you see yourself and giving this answer and you can add some fine tuning and refinement, or you can work with someone and collect their feedback. And that's it. That's how you answer the question. Tell me about a time where you had to manage conflicting priorities. If you like this video, please give a like, share, follow, subscribe wherever you are. And if you have any thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comments below. I always like to learn more and engage with people. Hope you have a good one. Take care, everyone.